Hey everybody, welcome to Options with Hans. I wanted to do a quick update. Of course, I'm Hans, 15 years as a pro options market maker and then another decade managing a ton of option overlay type funds to grab income from options. So almost 3 decades of experience. Grab the ebooks down below. Check out our Leaps Trader sale. It's running out today or maybe even by tomorrow afternoon. Fantastic deal. We're doing ridiculously good trades in here. But again, as always, I want to say that it's your trade, it's your responsibility. So if you're okay with that disclaimer, you can continue to watch. And today we're going to just do a quick update on Bitcoin, MSTX. Of course, we've been doing these amazing trades lately that members have been getting. The SOXL trade. It just keeps going and going, right? So we're up huge on the Jan 23s. We added June 27s, June 30s. I just think this is an amazing trend that's going to continue. But the MSTX is one that I was pretty timely on here. We talked about Bitcoin, all the reasons. I'm not going to give you all the reasons I like it, but I talked about how basically the pricing was cheap, right? So when we look at option pricing, when we look at any kind of trade, what we want to do is sort of, build our thesis, right? So, and the idea was that we've got M2 breaking out. There's 3 or 4 different things as to why Bitcoin can be a potential punt, right? I don't think this is the same as like being long Amazon or Nvidia. To me, those are more, robust, durable themes. This is a little bit of a play thing, unless you really, really believe in Bitcoin as this sort of endless store of wealth and potential transactional kind of thing, etc. So, you have to kind of believe in that. But as a trade, this is incredible. We looked at these trades trading about $5 that I think could go up maybe 10, 12, 15 times if you play it right on MSTX. So if you look at volatility here, we look at option pricing and MSTR kind of down, still really low. People are not really noticing the potential here. And that was my idea. As I said, listen, I think these options are underpriced. And even when you look at the shorter term options, they're really not pricing in any kind of really big massive move here. Now let's take a look at SKEW quickly in the short term, because the short-term options, short-term SKEW can give you an idea of how people are getting excited in the short term. Eventually that's going to spill into some of the longer term options. But first, like the tail of the dog, it kind of wags at the front end of the option curve. Let me put in MSTR. That's why we want to be aware of SKEW, right? Sometimes the best trade, as I've been saying for a month or two, is saying the best trade is the upside because they're really underpricing it. It's very supply based, right? It crushes that upside option pricing. So if we look at MSTR, it's kind of at a typical SKEW. It's not really getting too exciting. You don't see people get too excited, but we see them getting a little bit excited, right? So for me, this is nowhere near an exhaustion move. That's one more thing that makes me feel that my thesis is okay. We can see the SKEW very, very flat. I would start to maybe look for call SKEW to blow out at some point as a sign that maybe the move has run its course, right? No guarantees. But if you start to look under the hood at these different little nuances, you can kind of find some opportunity that way as you add layers and layers of edge from technicals, from story, from narrative, from macro, from perhaps micro. If you're trading MSTR, maybe you have an idea about what they're doing to improve their sort of fortunes. So basically building that thesis, and you can go back to these videos. This is the more recent one a few days ago, right before these things exploded. And then this was last week, basically setting up this incredible potential opportunity. And then these are the kinds of alerts that go out to Leaps Trader members, explosive leaps, buy these particular ones, 595. Many people ended up getting them at 540, 545, 550. Those ones today, if you sort of look at them, we can see I picked up 20 of these and it was my Vega bailout, right? So, but this is on IBIT. So if we look at these, we can sort of see that if you add the proper delta, you probably have another 60 cents in those MSTX options. So they're probably trading at about 720, 730. But again, my thesis is that really volatility is going to explode, right? Because volatility, option pricing has been pricing in nothing really happening for quite a while. And that makes sense, right? Because these things have been fairly slow. Bitcoin's been stuck at 100,000 for a long time. So eventually options will just say, well, we don't think anything's going to happen. But eventually that kind of builds a potential opportunity, which is exactly what usually we don't nail it like that, although we have in the last couple months. But usually you don't nail the timing that well. But I'm going to show you. So those are the MSTXs. They're up huge. I think they're still interesting personally. So those are up, I don't know, what is that, 35% in a few days. And then on the IBIT, the second video is where I did my Vega bailout. So I got into these 70 calls for 1040, and I picked up these way out of the money puts, right? The Vega bailout is where if this thing collapses and goes completely pear-shaped on you, then you have that soldier that is going to benefit from an explosion of option pricing, right? That's really putting those off. Now, something I wouldn't necessarily do something like this on NVIDIA because that's a different kind of vehicle, right? I don't mind, owning that thing lower. I don't mind doing strategies to basically get me in lower or play the upside through leverage. But in something like this, I kind of feel like I want that extra little bailout. So basically, this position at this point this morning is probably going to be up a few $1,000s. Let's see, but probably right about 65, 66, 67, I think we're at this morning. So probably going to be up about $2,000 in a couple of days. And the best thing about it is I believe that this option volatility is going to explode if this move continues, because everyone's going to clamor to own these things. They're going to be buying calls to hedge short positions. You've got funds out there that are short MSTR against the convertibles and things like that. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on, and this is exactly the kind of stock that potentially, no guarantees, could potentially break to the upside, and option pricing is just not pricing that in. So that's kind of exciting. So anyway, the bundle is still available for another day and a half or so. Gets you into this. We've been doing incredible trades. We did Zillow the other day. We did. Let me show you the comment I got from the community. This is what a couple of members said. I talked about Zillow because I got them in that. I got them in IBIT. I got them in SOXL. I got them in semiconductor. I got them in so many things lately. I said, Zillow Poppy goes, I don't know how you do it. And the other guy goes, same here. Pretty damn amazing. I think they're kind of like, this is no guarantee of anything, but I will say that if you need to be in the right place at the right time in this market, we are going to have an explosion from this stage of inference and AI. It's going to be absolutely bonkers, Looney Tunes. And I think you want to make sure that you're in the right places, but you're also not in the wrong places, because there's going to be disruption on a level we've never seen. And my thesis has really played out. So it's a great way to be part of an incredible community, and we'd love to have you there. So we'll see you soon. You can go to optionswithhans.com/pricing plans, and the bundle will be gone soon. So bundle up, and we'll see you on the inside.